Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tom Rosano, and this is Online Marketing Moves. This is episode 180 of the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway. To the 360 episodes I said I was going to push out in this year. We'll see what the number ends up. We got to July the 15th, July 15th, 2021. So we got about 6 more months. So we're going to keep cranking these out. But today is a very special day. Today is Martin Luther King Day. Martin Luther King, a great man. I mean, it's not a whole lot I can say about Martin Luther King. But I will say this. Martin Luther King, I know everybody will focus on the I Have a Dream speech. But one of my favorite speech of Martin Luther King was The Other America. He gave this speech at the University of Stanford. If you ever want to check it out, go to YouTube. Just type in, Martin Luther King, The Other America. It was 1967. It's a very great speech. It still resonates today. Martin Luther King was definitely on point about a lot of things in this speech. One thing that people don't like to talk about, especially people that's in charge or people that have, what's the word they use now, white privilege or whatever. One thing that people do not want to talk about, even though, yes, I was born in America. I am an American. Don't get me wrong, but people don't treat us as Americans, which is very strange. I've been here. I've lived in America 41 years of my life, and it's amazing. It's amazing how different things are between people of color and, white people, basically. It's amazing. It's like if you ever wanted to open up a business and you're a person of color, the chances of if you have the same credit score as somebody who is white in America, it's amazing how if you have the same credit score, say you have a little, you might have a 600 credit score, your credit score is the same, everything's the same. More than likely, as a person of color, you would not get the loan. You would get denied the loans. I've heard one too many stories about people who had pretty good credit, decent credit, and they go into these stores, try to get a business loan. They're like, no. It's a laundry list of things that is, it's just frustrating. It's just annoying, and it's just like, I know people want to tell you, well, I've come from blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, my man. You are different, okay? You are different, When I always feel, me being a black man, I always feel like black people in general always start from negative 500. It's never, all right, we're going to all start, because if we all start from the same starting point, that's a different story, Then it is what it is, If we all start from the same starting point and, at the end of the time on earth, you're not satisfied with what you've done, then that's on you. But as black people, it's not an excuse. You start from negative 500. It is what it is, You have to work, you have to work hard, You have to work harder to get up to zero, and then you got to start, and then it's like, hey, run the race. It's like when I watch Amazing Race, if they have a double U-turn, they have to do 2 legs of the race instead of doing one. That's how it is to be black in America. Okay, you have to do double the work just to get to a certain point. But it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do. You're gonna run your race, and I don't know. I feel sometimes that Martin Luther King, he would probably, if he was here now, if he was living, he'd probably shake his head and be like, this is America? We still doing this 50 years later? But it's some things that he definitely would be proud of. A lot of things have come a long way, A lot of things have come a long way, but we still have a long way to go. We still have a ways to go. And it's up to all of us to, because I remember working, driving a truck for so long. didn't really have the time or didn't really make the time to, do a lot of volunteer work, this, that, the other. But now, with the business, with the me transitioning from, the over the road to the local, I plan on doing a lot more volunteering in my community. I plan on being a lot more involved in my community. And I think that it doesn't matter who you are. That is what I believe Martin Luther King, at the end of the day, he was for equality. He did the "I Have a Dream" speech, but a lot of things he showed me in my eyes was like, get out in your community, help the people that can't help themselves, help the people in need, just help people in general. It doesn't matter. Me myself is unfortunate that we have to still go off this color stuff, but it is what it is. People always say, "Oh, I don't see color," but it's like, why why are all the applications about race? What's your race? It's like you can volunteer. Why do I have to volunteer? Why does it even matter? But anyway, get out today, do something in your community. That's one of the things that people do in Atlanta. For Martin Luther King Day, they get out, do a little volunteering. My wife, she went to work. She's collecting stuff, doing some donations. So that's great. And yeah, man. I mean, Martin Luther King's birthday was a couple of days ago. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King. Happy MLK Day. We still got ways to go, but I know you're looking down somewhere. But anyway, today, this is going to be a quick podcast. Today, we are going to talk about, and go check out that speech, man. That's a pretty good speech. But today, we are going to just talk about, real briefly, a business plan. You must have a business plan eventually. I know in this podcast, we talk about taking action. We talk about creating content, but you want to have a business plan because you want to know where you're going. Now, in the beginning, I didn't have a business plan. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have a business plan. I just started sort of trying to figure out, what do I want? I knew I want to start a business, but, where, who? So, I just started looking around. Didn't really have a business plan. And then finally, I decided, you know what? Every company, every business needs some kind of business plan. I need to know where I'm going, who I'm going, who's going with me, why am I going this way, what do I want to do, and, how do I get there, you know what I mean? So, wrote down a bunch of things, and you still have to, every now and then, once a month, twice a month, or once every, quarter, once every 6 months, however you want to do it. Go back and look at the business plan, see what's working, see what's not working, throw some things out, put some new things in. But at the end of the day, make sure you have a business plan. Make sure you have a plan. Without a plan, you're just like a chicken with your head cut off. If you ever seen a chicken with his head cut off, they just, I hate to get into it, but I worked at a chicken plant once, and you cut the chicken's head off, and they still got a little time to, live. So they do a little walking around, and they just sort of walk around and aimlessly, and that's how it is without a business plan. So make sure you got your business plan. It's not going to be set in stone, but make sure you have something. Make sure you have some goals. Make sure you write them down. Make sure you know where you want to go. Make sure you're headed in that direction, and just take action and, fire it up, and don't let anybody or anything stop you. All right. That being said, we will be back tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode of the podcast. And now I've been home too. My wife told me I should before I go, I got to start the videos because I want to get more into I want to get more in depth into affiliate marketing, but I think I can do it more with the video on my computer, so you can look, you can see, the whole get response, the whole conversion pros, everything that I'm doing, with the affiliate marketing business. But my wife, she gave me some good advice. She said, maybe you should get used to being home every day first. And I was like, you know what? Maybe you are right. Maybe you are right, because it has been strange for me to, because it's easy for me. It was quite easy to just get out of bed and do a podcast at 4 in the morning. But now I'm working at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, and last week I stopped a couple times. I did a podcast. I've tried to find somewhere in my house to do a podcast, but I've learned and I've heard from a listener, from an avid listener, that one of the episodes sounded like I was in the echo chamber, and I said, well, we can't have that. So I got to get some stuff to put around me to set up my little makeshift podcast studio, so that way I can just record from home, and that way the sound can be great. Because once we get the sound down pat, then I know the podcast will take off more and more and more. But anyway, with that being said, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we will get the videos cracking, next week after my adjustment period, and we're going to start rocking and rolling in that realm, and we're going to start doing a lot more things as far as content wise. So be on the lookout. And that's all, ladies and gentlemen. I have to go and get ready. I actually just got to straighten up. I'm trying to get my house organized. The more organized I can get it now, the more work I can do. Because I always look around, I'm like, ugh, this is clutter, clutter. So gotta try to ease. I gotta make a makeshift office for the time being, so that way I can just get to work. Just gotta just get to it. But anyway, that's it for now. That's it for the podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode. But until then, I will talk to you later. And as always, everybody, peace.